Have you ever been the last one left at a party? The music's fading, half the lights are off, and you're just standing there, holding a warm beer, looking around at a room full of empty cups and pizza boxes, and realizing everyone else found someone and left. That moment right there, that silent, awkward realization that you've been left behind, that's exactly what most men feel every single day in their relationships. They're there. They show up, they try, but inside, they feel alone. Because even though she's sitting right next to him, she's already gone. And I'm not talking about physically gone. I mean emotionally checked out. Today, I'm going to give you something most men will never hear. The truth that flips that entire dynamic upside down. But I'll warn you, this truth hits hard, because once you understand it, you can't unsee it. Here's what I've seen over and over again. A man walks into a relationship strong, confident, happy. He's got purpose, friends, energy, drive, and everything. Then months go by and he starts noticing little changes. He stops seeing his boys as much. He's quieter now. He starts asking for permission to do things he used to just do, to be who he used to be. And a year or two later, he's not even the same man. He doesn't laugh the same. He doesn't move the same. And he doesn't even think the same. Because somewhere along the line, she reprogrammed him. Not by force, but by slow, quiet submission. And he thought that was love. He thought making himself smaller was how you keep a relationship alive. He thought walking on eggshells was how you show respect. He thought saying yes to everything was how you prove your loyalty. But every time he bent, every time he apologized for something he didn't even do, every time he begged instead of stood tall, he wasn't saving the relationship, he was killing it. Because every time you show weakness in moments, she expects strength. You chip away at her respect. And when a woman loses respect, she can't feel attraction. It's not a choice, it's instinct. It's coded deep in her DNA. You could see it happen. The way her eyes change, the way her tone changes. She used to look at you. Now she looks through you. Like you're not a person anymore, just background noise. Like your furniture that sometimes pays for dinner. And the more she feels that power, the more that invisible crown sits on her head and the smaller you become. There's something I call the test paradox. Women test you to see if you're strong, but those same tests, over time, break most men down. Each one is small. A comment here, a little jab there. A cold shoulder when you don't react how she wants. And over time, you start folding. You start adapting. You start erasing yourself just to keep the peace. But here's the twisted part. She starts hating the version of you that she created. She hates that you got weak, even though she's the one who tested you into weakness. She hates that you lost your edge, even though she pushed for it. She hates the man she made because he's not the man she fell for. It's a brutal cycle. Most guys don't even see it. They think that's just what relationships are. That all women do this, that all men end up this way. No. Some men figured out the truth. They learned the words and actions that stop this cycle dead in its tracks. Let's talk about them. Firstly, tell her she's ordinary. And no, not in a mean or cruel way. Just calmly. Like you're stating a fact. Say, when we first met, I thought you were different. But honestly, you're just like every other woman I've known. Same drama, same insecurities, same games. Now, don't say this to hurt her. You say it because it's true. Every woman wants to feel like she's the exception. She's not like other girls. She's special. And when you show her, she's not when you calmly reveal she's just playing the same role every other woman has her ego cracks. It's like pulling the rug out from under her emotional power. I once saw a guy do this outside a restaurant. His girlfriend was yelling, saying, "You don't see how special I am." And he just smiled and said, "Funny." My ex said the same thing. Word for word. She froze. No comeback. No yelling. Just silence. Because in that second, she realized she's not the exception. She's a rerun. Secondly, show complete indifference. When she says, "I think I should leave," you don't panic, you don't beg. You say, "If that's what you feel, I respect it. Take care." When she says, "I need space," You say, take all you need. I've got things to do anyway. When she mentions her ex texting her, you say, cool. Hope it works out. Because her power only exists when you fear losing her. The moment you stop fearing that, you take all the power back. There's a story of a guy whose girlfriend said, I think we should see other people. He said, great idea. There's someone I've been wanting to ask out. She panicked, suddenly backtracked. Oh, I didn't mean it that way. Of course she didn't. She was testing, and he passed. And finally, shatter her sexual ego. Every woman believes her sexuality makes her special. That her body, her touch, her intimacy, that's her ultimate weapon. Her ace card. So when you calmly and casually say something like, the physical side of our relationship has always been fine. Just nothing amazing. I've had stronger chemistry before. And then move on like you just commented on the weather. You've just dropped an emotional nuke because you took away her trump card. The one area where she thought she was untouchable. But again, don't say this to destroy her. Say it only when she's been using that area to manipulate you, to withhold, to control, to test. These lines aren't weapons for revenge. They're medicine for manipulation. You don't use antibiotics unless there's an infection. Now, there's another powerful method I call the agreement technique. When she tries to start drama, you agree. She says, maybe I should find someone better. You say, you probably should. Let me help you pack. She says, you're not a real man. You say, you're right. A real man wouldn't tolerate this. She says, the spark is gone. You say, yeah, I feel that too. Maybe we should stop pretending. See what happens? You take away her ability to fight. You don't resist. You don't defend. You don't argue. You just agree. And suddenly, all that emotional energy she was throwing at you has nowhere to land. She swings and falls on her own momentum. There was a viral video of a woman screaming at her boyfriend in public, calling him pathetic. And he just said, you're right. I'm pathetic for putting up with this. And walked away. That's power. Because he stopped playing the game. And when she finally leaves, thinking you'll fall apart without her. But instead, you thrive. That's when everything flips. You're out living, smiling, doing all the things she once told you not to do, seeing your friends laughing again. She expected her absence to be your punishment. Instead, it became your freedom. And deep down, she feels that loss harder than you ever could, because she just watched the man she tried to control turn into the man she always wanted. See, the most powerful man in any relationship isn't the one who loves less. It's the one who needs less. When you don't need her approval, her validation, or her presence to feel like yourself, you become irreplaceable. Because every other guy she's been with needed something from her. You're the first one who doesn't. And that's what makes you unforgettable.